Hello everyone, welcome to Cardiff TV chat show. I'm Matt Lewis.
And I'm Luke Aikens.
Today we're going to be talking about things going on at the SU. The last few weeks there's been a lot of rumours going around, a lot of things popping up. This is including the banning of the football and rugby teams.
The discouragement of social certain traditions.
And the nights out. We'll give you a few useful tips. We may be freshers, but we know how to party hard. Later on we're planning on discussing what we personally consider to be bannable behaviour. A bit more about the actions and they represent about the uni. I'm in the football team, so I might be a little bit biased, but you know, we can come together and make do. And obviously how you make your SU night out as good as possible.
This week, both the Cardiff University men's football and rugby teams have been banned from the SU for inappropriate behaviour. Supposedly, the rugby boys were banned for 4 weeks due to the actions of a boy who was filmed throwing himself through a glass window on a bus stop. Near the student accommodation of Aberconway Hall. The football team was banned due to unsociable behaviour in the line for the SU key.
The president of the rugby club had this to say.
The Students' Union added,
So the SU's also banned the infamous white t-shirt socials. I think we all know about them, we've seen them about or we've been involved in ourselves. Usually a nice bit of banter is nice and fun, but as soon as you get a bit of a penis on there or something, if it gets a little bit worse, there's some racist jokes. I've seen absolutely all sorts on there. I think it just gets taken a bit too far, and rightly the SU have taken action.
So the question we've been asked is, how much do the actions of individuals reflect the values of the societies that they belong to?
Well, obviously as a football player, I kind of got to stick up for them, and I know their banning I thought was a little bit unfair. At the end of the day, it's a bit of fun, it's kind of a lot of what we're here to do. But I think it obviously gets taken too far. I think ours was a little bit harsh, kind of pushing it into the queue. I don't really know that that's that bad. It's not putting anyone in danger, but a lot of things like telling someone to jump through a bus stop's probably taking it a little bit too far.
You could say that, but additionally, if you think running into a bus stop, does it really have anything to do with the SU?
It's a good point, like why they punish. I think there should be punishment, because obviously it's gone viral. They've said how everyone knows it's the Cardiff Union rugby team. But why that? What that's to do with the SU? I'm not sure. Surely you could ban them for a fixture or not.
Exactly. Whereas at least with your football team, you were kicked out because you were misbehaving in the line. I'm not entirely sure.
Point. Well, I mean, we're still banned, so I think that's maybe a bit too far. But I can see a week ban. But
yeah.
I think it's at a point clubs have got to realise they're representing the uni at the end of the day. They're not just a separate club. But there's definitely a culture that needs to be stopped of just freshers do what they're told, and that's where it gets taken too far, definitely.
So going back to this bus stop thing, obviously the video has gone viral. So do you reckon really, you're saying potentially not going for the student union being banned from the club?
Yeah, I think you could go for fixtures, can you? You could surely find other punishments. I don't think if you're honest, I don't think it's the individual. I'm guessing. I don't know the whole story, but I'm guessing they were probably just told to do it, and if not, they can't play rugby. And at the end of the day, that's what people want to do. They want to play their sport.
Yeah.
I mean, you do rowing. You wouldn't want someone to say, oh, if you'd probably do a lot of things to say, well, you can't do it if you don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a certain type of person to be able to stand up and say, I don't want to take part in certain things. Although there is a lot of pressure within the society.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, do you have the balls for it? But surely at that kind of point, running through a bus stop, the bigger ball person is going to say, no, I'm not doing that.
I mean, I've heard as well that the person that ran through the bus stop ended up going to a hospital afterwards as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if everyone's seen it out there, I'm guessing you have. I'm not surprised he ended up in the hospital.
Exactly, no.
I did have a little laugh, but I think at the point you've got to stop, haven't you?
Technically as well, that's public property damage. That's illegal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that it does look bad on the uni at the end of the day. Not just the rugby team; they're not responsible for their own actions. But fair enough, the chairman's come out and said, he apologised. Someone said they quit. I don't want to put things out there. I'm not quite sure if that was true or not. But fair play, at some point you've got to take responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah, I went to my first football social. I was covered in olive oil. Fish foods, cat foods, I mean, it was kind of fun, but it was turning up to the SU stinking of all that stuff probably wasn't quite as enjoyable. But I think it was all done in good heart. Like they said, if you really don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. There's no kind of, you're not leaving this building if you don't do it kind of thing. I don't know what it's like with rugby and other things, but I do think the freshers, if you're in your first year, you're called a freshman, you have to kind of do these things, you do what you say,
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there is a lot of pressure being placed on freshers that's not necessarily fair to them in terms of you are being forced to do a lot of things that you wouldn't normally be doing.
Some of the things were fun. We passed. We had to. I say fun. We were all in a line and passing. You had to pass a beer, like the game where you're putting a ball over your head in primary school. You had to do that, but with beer in your mouth. And that was.
I can tell you for Ryan, we were taped to a random other person, and the cider in one hand had to finish the whole 2 litre bottle before you were allowed back inside.
Yeah.
But these things are more reasonable rather than
I think the drinking, you're an adult, you're drinking, we're here to, a lot of people,
exactly.
half are going to uni, I guess, so, well, it's for drinking a lot of people, not for everyone. Like some members of the football team don't drink, it's not a pressure, they don't make people drink, but you're almost going along with it, you're going along with the culture just for the fun of it kind of thing, but you're never, from my experience, you're not forced to do it, so it's not always the end of it. I wouldn't say don't join a sports team, really. Just because of that. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to turn up. Half the people, there was only probably 30 freshers there, there's probably about 80 in the teams. Definitely wouldn't say don't join a team because of it, but be wary. If you're up for a good laugh, you're going to be punished for it. There's going to be a whole crowd behind said person. Like I said with the bus stop, the chances are he was probably just being egged on by a load of people behind the camera.
Might have been a bit of a chain of command from.
Yeah, and I think when it's coming from a team, I think that said team has to be kind of punished, but I don't think banning from the SU is probably the most suitable punishment. But they've got to take responsibility as a team, and the team get punished for it.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk about nights out, mainly in the SU specifically, but also just kind of in general. I wouldn't say I personally am the best person to give tips for this, but we'll give it a go. I definitely don't know about you. Obviously it starts with prees. Got to get a good few fair people around, and and wet the stomach.
Wet the stomach. Obviously, as well, make sure you've had plenty of food before. Make sure you are
after eating. Of course, I've been out on very small stomach, and it was football social time. Down in the pint, came straight back up again. Got to the SU, downing a VK, straight back up again. So I can personally say I thought I'd give it a try, see if the myth is real, but it definitely is real.
Definitely does fit you.
And obviously next, so heading out, I personally don't rate the SU highly. It's always very busy on a Wednesday. It is good fun, sports night obviously, and Saturday night is decent. I went this Saturday, but I would definitely say try and get there drunk, because 4 VKs for a tenner seems cheap, but things rack up, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'd say best nights out, probably looking at Prism. It's alright. It's a bit crowded sometimes.
I have to say Glam's a favourite one. I went last night for Chris Lorenzo. No, Tuesday night. Yeah, Glam's quite a good one because it's a nice smoking area. So you can actually go and talk to someone there. But the SU is good fun. I definitely think I won't be there too long. I'm thinking 2 hours. I think I'm done with it then. I think once you keep going, then you just get more and more drunk, and that walk home gets that little bit harder.
I think the SU can be a lot of fun. You do need to be at a certain level of drunkenness to be able to enjoy it fully.
The problem is obviously you have the big queue for the drink. I have to find if you're getting VKs, go to the little handy store that sells them. Never a big queue, and I don't know why no one goes. They do sell out pretty quick, to be fair. But and
there's that little room in the back as well. Never seems to have.
The other room when they put that on is quite good. They have better music in that room actually. Haven't they? They always put some good disco in house on there. And apart from that, avoid salty foods. Seems stupid, and keep hydrated. Apart from that, just go and get messed up. I would say teams, they do get rowdy on a Wednesday. We're not like we haven't worn the black shirt for a while. I know that's their football lot. To be honest, it's mainly into sport. I find the running the rugby lot hate the football lot. I think everyone hates them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I personally, from my experience, I don't think we're too bad. It's just when everyone's dancing, you always get that person that goes in with their elbows, start pushing everyone about. It's like a Mexican wave in there sometimes, getting pushed about, isn't it?
It's a good piece of advice. Don't be aggressive when you're in the club. It will always end badly, I can guarantee.
Yeah, no one likes that weird person that's following everyone around and being weird. So just
don't be a creep, no.
Yeah, keep yourself to your friends, and I wouldn't go barging about too much. Best night out I've ever had here, I think, was Mr. Scruff. Wasn't at the SU, I have to admit. There's been a few good socials. The worst being obviously getting covered in olive oil and having to then go and socialise. I remember finding my flatmates and just almost crying into them after my set being terrorised, but that was probably my worst.
Fair enough. I'd say my best night I couldn't tell you too much about. I don't really remember a whole lot. But
it's a good one then.
Exactly. Sometimes you can just wake up in the morning and be like,
you just know it's a good night. I'm not sure what's happening. Well, there is footage of that. I think if anyone wants to see that on YouTube, on the Cardiff TV website, there is there is a video of this guy not remembering what he's doing.
Worst night out. Ooh. That's a question. Might need a second to think about it.
Think about where was it? Do you reckon? I reckon was it an SU one? The usual evidence is waking up with stuff on you,
actually, no, I'll tell
or
you,
regretting something.
I'll tell you the worst one I had actually. I went down to Glam, which I know you're a big fan of, but we went in for a drum and bass night and there was 20 people in there. We did a head count. It was a nightmare. At least they brought the drink prices down, to be fair, £1 from VK. But
what day was this on?
Probably Tuesday or something.
Well, that's where you get wrong.
Yeah, low traffic.
Tuesday, everyone knows is Revs night. That's definitely a tip for going out. Find the right night at the right place. I
That's
think
true.
it will vary. Like the only time I'll go to prison is Monday nights.
Oh yeah, Quidzin.
Yeah,
Good shout.
I think everyone knows about that. But yeah, Tuesday Revs night. Don't know about a Thursday. I don't tend to go out on Thursdays.
Not really sure. Anyway, you get smashed.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. If it was our first time, we have to admit, so hopefully we haven't been too embarrassing and revealed too much. Football team, I love you forever, CUFC, and thanks for watching.
I'm Luke, this is Matt, and we're signing out.